I'm delighted to be welcomed by Arseniy Petrovich Yacenyuk, a former Prime Minister of Ukraine, joining us from Kyiv. Mr. Yacenyuk, a very good morning to you. Welcome to LBC.
Morning, sir. Thanks for having me.
Can you give us the situation from Kyiv? What's it like to live there now? Do you have power?
Well, we don't have power. We have never-ending blackouts, and yesterday a barrage of Russian missiles struck a few Ukrainian power-generating plants. But on the other hand, Ukrainians already used to this, and both Ukrainian energy facilities and people know how to cope with this. You just mentioned Dnipro River. This is one of the biggest cities in the east of Ukraine. We just got the latest report. 21 confirmed dead, including one child. So the Russian missile hit a residential apartment, and just ordinary people who are living in this apartment, they have been killed by this war criminal Putin. And let me thank you personally the way you described it to your audience, because this is a never-ending mess, and this is the crimes against humanity and the war crimes committed by Russian president and by Russian military.
Are you concerned that we all, as we sit here in our comfortable studios discussing this matter, or people sitting in their comfortable homes reading the newspapers, we all become desensitized to the horror of what is going on so close to where we sit, and therefore the fragile cooperation between us all in support of Ukraine could diminish?
Here is the thing. You are not sitting. You are doing. You are helping Ukraine. You support Ukrainian military, and the decision of the United Kingdom government actually to be a pioneer and to deploy a squadron, as you correctly said, it is a squadron of battle tanks, Challenger 2 of 14 tanks, is a breakthrough. Because no doubt that Russians are preparing for the war of attrition. They are not preparing. They already committing this war of attrition. This is a grinding war, and Putin and his military commanders that have been reshuffled for 3 times in just 11 months, they employed a new old Soviet-style strategy, which is the quantity has its own quality. They don't care about the cannon fodder. They send tens of hundreds of Russian troops and conscripts and ex-convicts in Ukraine. And the thing that you are doing, I mean, the Western world, you are helping us as we are fighting for Ukraine, and we are fighting for your freedom and security. And I do commend this.
The Challenger 2 is a heavy old beast. It's a highly capable weapon. It's tank on tank. It was designed for just the sort of warfare that we are seeing, sadly, in Ukraine. The next question will be about these Leopard 2 tanks. There's over 2,000 of those, over 13 nations. This would make a huge difference, but it's Germany that controls whether these Leopard 2 tanks are sent to help Ukraine, because they hold the export licenses. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
What should Germany do?
Well, let me go back again to the UK decision to send battle tanks to Ukraine. This is a breakthrough, and this is a clear sign and very clear signal to everyone in the Western world that we started to prepare Ukrainian military for, on the one hand, for a counteroffensive, and on the other hand, for counteroffensive that Russia plans. So there is no other option for the German government as to give the green light for this Leopard 2. And Ukrainian Commander-in-Chief General Zaluzhny, he was very clear in his interview to The Economist when he said that Ukraine needs around 300 battle tanks. And this will turn the tide. So we expect that the German government is to make the right decision and, on the one hand, to provide the green light for everyone in the NATO alliance who is ready to send battle tanks to Ukraine. And on the other hand, that Germany will decide by themselves and send its own tanks to Ukraine.
As a former Prime Minister of Ukraine yourself, Mr. Yacenyuk, Can I ask you how the president is doing, Volodymyr Zelensky? Can I ask you the importance of his influence?
Well, the president is doing the right things. He is executing his constitutional duty in the most decent manner. He's addressing an entire world. He is trying to circle the wagon and successfully with our Western allies, mainly the United States, the European Union, the United Kingdom. So Ukrainian military, Ukrainian commander-in-chief, Ukrainian political establishment, and Ukrainian nation is completely united. Even despite all hurdles and troubles and all this drama unfolding right now in Ukraine. We strongly believe that we will prevail.
And the spirit of the people that you are with and around will not be broken. This is one thing, one element of this invasion of your country, which has been inspirational, if I may say so. It has been remarkable, and there are many Ukrainians in this country, and you speak with them, and you suggest for a moment that you speak in a civilized manner in terms of peace talks with Mr. Putin, and the response can be seen in the eyes. It's not just words.
Well, in terms of these peace talks, I don't know whether you saw this in the media. The Russian representative in the UN yesterday made a barrage of false claims about Ukraine, and he mentioned once again a possibility of peace talks. This is the Russian narrative and Russian propaganda. They are trying to find the way how to buy the time in order to reshuffle its military, to regroup, and to relaunch its counteroffensive. And that's the reason why we urgently need more weapons, more anti-aircraft systems, more air defense systems. So whether I believe that the time for peace talks will come, yes, only after Ukraine retakes an entire territory.
Arseniy Yacenyuk, former Prime Minister of Ukraine, joining us from Kyiv. Thank you very much indeed for your time this morning, and the very best of luck to you and to yours and your country as well.